Lena had always been a heavy sleeper, the kind who could sleep through thunder or the neighbor's dog barking for hours. But after she moved into the small upstairs apartment on Hawthorne Lane, she started waking up at 3:12 a.m. every night. Exactly. At first it was subtle, a strange dream, a shiver down her spine, the faint sense that something was off. But on the fourth night, when she snapped awake to the red glow of her alarm clock, she noticed something new. The closet door was open. She always kept it shut. She hated open doors at night. Lena sat up slowly, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. The door stood open only an inch or two, but wide enough that a strip of utter blackness leaked out, darker than her room should ever be. Probably the old building settling, she told herself, a crooked frame. She got up, shut it, and went back to sleep. But the next night, at 3:12 a.m., she woke again, and the closet door was open wider, 6 inches, enough for her to feel as though someone inside was watching her. She got up, heart thumping, and closed it again. By the 6th night, she'd had enough. She jammed a heavy wooden chair under the closet door handle before bed, testing it twice to be sure it wouldn't budge. That night, she fell asleep almost proud of herself. But pride didn't last long. At 3:12 a.m., she woke to the sound of wood scraping across the floor. She sat upright so fast her head spun. The room was cold, much colder than it should have been. In the dim glow of the alarm clock, she saw it. The chair had been moved, not knocked over, just gently pushed aside, as if with deliberate care. And the closet door was wide open. Lena froze. She didn't scream. She didn't move. She simply stared into the pitch-black doorway, every hair on her body standing on end. Then she saw it. Just for a moment, something pale inside the darkness. A face. No, not a face. A suggestion of one. 2 faint, reflective points where eyes should be. She blinked, and when she opened her eyes again, the darkness was empty. She sat there until the sun came up. The next day, she called the landlord, Mr. Harrow, a thin older man who always smelled faintly of damp leaves. "There's something wrong with the closet," Lena said. "The door keeps opening at night." He gave her a long, unreadable look. "Oh," he said quietly. "That room. What about it?" But he shook his head. "I'll come by tomorrow. In the meantime, don't sleep in there." Don't sleep in there? Lena didn't need to be told twice. She dragged a blanket and pillow to the living room sofa that night, but she couldn't sleep. Every creak the building made kept her alert. Finally, around 2:30 a.m., she dozed off. And at 3:12 a.m., she woke up anyway. Except this time she heard something new, a soft, slow tap, 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 coming from the hallway, coming from the direction of her bedroom. Her throat tightened. It was the sound of a door lightly hitting the wall, her closet door. She curled deeper into the couch cushions. The tapping continued, steady, patient, like something was waiting for her to come check. She stayed awake until sunrise again. When Mr. Harrow arrived that morning, Lena almost flung the door open in relief. But the second she saw him, that relief faded. He looked exhausted, pale, nervous. "Show me," he said. Lena led him to the bedroom. The closet door was open, of course. Harrow didn't touch it. He didn't even step inside the room at first. He stared at the closet the way someone might stare at a grave. Finally, he said, "This apartment used to belong to a man named Cole. Quiet guy. Kept to himself. One day, he just disappeared. No struggle, no broken windows, nothing. He was just gone." "Did he live?" Lena swallowed. "Here? In this room?" Harrow nodded. "And the closet?" she prompted. Harrow's mouth tightened. "He was always complaining about noises coming from it. Said something was inside. We checked dozens of times. Nothing there." Lena felt the icy fingers of dread crawl up her spine. Harrow stepped closer to the closet, squinting at the frame. "There's a crawl space behind here," he said. "Old houses like this sometimes have them. Probably animals got in." He reached in to feel the inside panel, and then he froze. "Cold," he whispered. "It's ice cold." Before Lena could respond, he gripped the inner edge of the doorframe and pulled hard. To her shock, a portion of the back wall shifted, like a hidden panel sliding loose. A dark gap opened. A smell seeped out, damp, foul like wet earth and something very old. Harrow shined his phone flashlight inside. The beam lit up a narrow void, no bigger than a coffin, lined with old wood. Scratches covered every surface, deep, frantic scratches, as if someone had clawed their way at the walls, desperate to get out. Lena felt her stomach drop. Harrow whispered almost to himself, "Oh no, oh no, Cole." "What?" Lena asked, voice shaking. He didn't answer. Because at that moment, something in the crawl space moved. A soft shuffle, like someone adjusting their position in a very cramped, very dark place. Harrow staggered back. "We're leaving," he said quickly. "Now!" Lena didn't argue. She backed out of the room so fast she nearly tripped. But before they made it to the front door, a sound came from the bedroom. Click, the sound of a latch closing. Then, creak, creak, creak. Slow, dragging footsteps coming out of the closet. Lena and Harrow both froze. The bedroom door swung open, the hallway filled with a chill that cut straight through their skin. And then something stepped into view. It was tall, too tall, its limbs wrong, jointed strangely, bent like they didn't know how to be part of a human shape. Its skin was stretched thin and pale like old wax. Its face was the worst, a smoothed-over blankness, with only faint hollows where eyes should be, except for something glinting deep inside the emptiness. It tilted its head at them, the motion slow and curious. Harrow whispered, "Cole." The creature twitched at the name, like it remembered something, or was trying to. Then it took a step forward. Harrow shoved Lena toward the door. "Run!" She stumbled into the hallway, sprinting down the stairs 2 at a time. Behind her, she heard a horrible scraping thud, like long limbs smacking the walls as the creature followed. She burst out the front door into the street. Harrow was right behind her. They didn't stop running until they reached the end of the block. When Lena finally turned back, gasping, her bedroom window was open. A pale hand hung over the sill, fingers too long, curled like they were tasting the air. She moved out that day. The landlord put up new ads a week later. A month after that, someone new rented the apartment. And on their first night, at 3:12 a.m., the closet door slowly creaked open. The Thing Behind the Door, Part 2, 3:12 a.m. The new tenant's name was Derek Rowe. He moved in on a Thursday afternoon with 2 suitcases, a box of tools, and a half-broken television. He liked the place instantly. Cheap rent, quiet street, sunlight in the mornings. He didn't know why the landlord handed him the keys with a trembling smile. He didn't know why the neighbors stared up at his window with pity. And he didn't know why the bedroom felt just a little colder than the rest of the apartment. Not yet. That night, Derek unpacked, cooked ramen, and fell asleep on the bed with the TV flickering blue light across the room. At 3:12 a.m., he woke up. Not suddenly, not with fear, just awake, like he'd heard something small. He rubbed his eyes. The closet door was open. Derek frowned. He knew he'd closed it. He hated open doors at night, a leftover habit from childhood nightmares. "Old hinges," he muttered. He got up and shut the door. But as he turned away, he heard it. A quiet, breathy sound, like something exhaling from inside the closet. Derek froze. The hairs on his arms rose. He grabbed the doorknob and yanked the door open again. Nothing. Just clothes and darkness. He huffed out a laugh, shaking his head at himself. Too much late-night horror TV, he thought. He closed the door again and went back to bed. But sleep didn't come, because now, from behind the door, he heard a new sound. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Slow, rhythmic, as if nails were dragging across wood. Derek sat up. That's not normal. He grabbed a flashlight from his nightstand, marched to the closet, and pulled open the door. Again, nothing. But the sound continued, not from inside the closet, from behind it. Derek pressed his ear to the back wall. Something shifted back there, like a body turning over in a tight space. A faint whisper slipped through the wood. Cold. Derek stumbled back. Nope, nope, absolutely not. He grabbed his car keys and left the apartment, sitting in his car outside until dawn. The next morning, he stormed into the landlord's office. "What the hell is in that closet?" he demanded. Mr. Harrow's face drained of color. "You heard it?" "It spoke," Derek said through gritted teeth. "Something's in the walls. I want answers." Harrow's voice trembled. "It's not an animal." "Then what?" The landlord looked at him with exhaustion etched deep into his face. "A former tenant. Cole." "A squatter? Someone living in the walls?" "No." Harrow swallowed. "Not anymore." He told the story, summarized it, left out the part about the creature stepping out of the darkness, about chasing Lena down the hall. But he didn't need to. Derek could see the haunted fear in his eyes. "You want to break the lease?" Harrow asked, almost hopeful. Derek should have said yes. Every instinct screamed to say yes. Instead, he said, "No, I'm not letting some creep, dead or alive, run me out of my own place. I'm fixing this." Harrow sagged in defeat. That night, Derek prepared. He bought a hammer, screws, nails, a floodlight, and 2 cans of insulating foam. If something's behind that wall, he told himself, I'll seal it in. He waited until 3 a.m., sat on the edge of the bed, flashlight on his thigh, hammer in his hand. The apartment felt too still, the air too heavy. Then it came. Scratch, scratch, scratch. 3:12 a.m. Derek stood. "That's enough," he muttered. He opened the closet door. The back wall was vibrating, small tremors like something pushing its fingertips against the wood from the other side. Then a voice. "Let me out." Derek's breath hitched. "No," he whispered. He lifted the hammer to start sealing the space, but the panel suddenly slid open on its own. The crawl space yawned open like a mouth. A wave of cold air rolled out, rotting leaves, damp earth, something metallic. Then Derek saw eyes, 2 faint glowing points deep in the darkness. They blinked, and the thing inside began to crawl out. Its limbs slid forward, joint by joint, too long and too thin to belong to anything human. Pale skin scraped across the floorboards, leaving long smears of frost. Derek stumbled backward. "Stay back!" The creature pushed its head out, or what used to be a head. A waxy, unfinished mask of a face, stretched smooth with faint impressions of a nose and mouth, as if memory itself were trying to shape it. "Cole?" Derek whispered without meaning to. The creature's head jerked at the name. It froze, and slowly, the shape of its mouth changed, stretched into something like a smile. "Cold," it rasped again, louder this time, almost happy to repeat the word. Then it lunged. Derek barely slammed the closet door in time. Something hit the other side with a wet thud. The frame shook violently, more strength than anything stuck in a crawl space should possess. He shoved the dresser in front of it, then the bed, then anything he could get his hands on. The pounding stopped abruptly. Silence. Derek pressed his ear to the door. No movement, no sound, just one faint whisper, inches from the wood. "Derek." He bolted from the apartment. He didn't return for 2 days. When he finally worked up the courage to go back, armed with a friend and 2 crowbars, the closet door was closed, neatly, calmly, and etched into the wood, carved with long, deliberate strokes, were 3 words: "See you tonight."